How is everybody doing? Hopefully, you guys got to enjoy some good football this NFL Divisional weekend this Saturday. I watched both games pretty closely. I have a few takeaways and just some thoughts about the games. So, I'll start off with the late game, Niners at Seahawks. And that game, pretty much from the opening play when Shaheed runs it back on the opening kick, that was pretty much the turning point of the game. Seahawks never looked back. So that's a tough one. It's a tough one for Niners fans there. They had a remarkable season. I put out my top 8 teams earlier this week and put the Niners 8th because of their health, and got a lot of pushback for it. So I wouldn't have put them there had I not thought that health was going to play a major factor in this game. The Seahawks knew him so well. Then, like I said, once the game started the way it did, there was just no response. The Niners couldn't generate anything on offense. Purdy made a few plays here and there, to his credit, but it was a rough game for the Niners. So Kenneth Walker went 3 TDs in this game, 116 yards, I believe. So Seattle controlled the game on the ground, controlled the game with their defense, had the special teams touchdown right away, as I said earlier, and that's all they needed. Sam Darnold wasn't asked to do much. He didn't have to do anything, really. So we'll see if he's asked to do anything in the next game when they face either the Rams or the Bears. So I will move on to the earlier game, which was a lot more interesting and dramatic, I will wholeheartedly say. The end of the game had me yelling at the TV like a crazy person. But anyway, I'll try to remain a little bit more calm here for you guys. So the thing that gets me about, and I swear to you all, I am not a person that bitches about bad officiating. I just want consistent officiating. You cannot call 4 penalties for the whole game and most of overtime and call 3 penalties on the last drive of the game. You let them play all game and then you call 3 crucial, crippling penalties to gift the Denver Broncos a berth to the AFC Championship. Now, I do feel bad for Bo Nix. He is out for the season with the ankle. I was unaware of this as the game was playing in real time. They showed replays after of him wincing on the sideline pretty bad when probably right around the time they kicked the game-winning field goal. So, feel terrible for him. I hate that I felt the way that I felt at the end of that game. I felt like the Broncos were gifted that game. Maybe you guys disagree with me. I don't care. I don't care. So I'm gonna move on because I'm it's starting to piss me off again. We also had you know what, I'm gonna cite one more thing. So Bills had 5 penalties for 68 yards. the whole game. 53 of those penalty yards were on that last drive. Yeah, it's just... But anyway, Buffalo, I'll get back to the game now, to what led up to that. The reason Buffalo was in this position was because Josh Allen turned back into a turnover machine. I wanted to see him come through. He was the best player left in the playoffs, by far. And I want to see the best of the best play. And with no Mahomes, no boogeyman out in KC to get him, I thought, even though his team was a little flawed, he could do it. Well, the clean game that he had last week against Jacksonville, that he needed, by the way, to get to this game, he was not able to replicate. And you can credit Denver's defense if you like. I still don't know if the second interception that they made was an interception, but I'm going to leave that alone. I've said my piece about the officiating. He didn't take care of the ball, though. You lost 2 fumbles, one with less than 20 seconds in the first half, that you gift him a possession right after they had scored, and you give him another 3 points right before the half. And it's, what? It goes 20-10 at the half. You just made your job harder. And I knew that he could come back, and he did. They took the lead. They had the lead for a good portion of the second half. But you can't have 5 turnovers in a freaking game and expect to win, is the bottom line. So I hope that he learns from this and gets better from this, because he's too good of a player, I think, not to win at some point. But I will leave you guys on that. The first game was a lot of fun to watch. It was a little agonizing at the end, though. I will admit, I don't really have a rooting interest, but like I said, I like to see great players play. So I wanted to see Josh Allen move on. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. Talk to you later.